The day began like any other in Cebu. The warm golden rays of the sun slowly spread across the city, waking it up to the rhythm of life. Streets grew busy as office workers hurried along the sidewalks, some clutching their morning coffee while others tapped quickly on their phones, lost in thought. The air was filled with the cheerful noise of children, their laughter echoing as they ran towards their schools with backpacks bouncing behind them. Street vendors set up their stalls, calling out to passers-by, offering fresh fruit, snacks, and steaming bowls of local delicacies. Jeepneys honked their way through the traffic, their colorful designs adding life to the already vibrant morning. It was the kind of day that felt safe, predictable, and ordinary. The chatter of neighbors, the scent of fresh bread from bakeries, and the hum of daily activity painted a picture of calm normalcy. People went about their routines with no sense of danger, unaware that the ground beneath them was silently building energy. Life seemed steady, even peaceful, but hidden beneath the surface was a force preparing to reveal itself. The city of Cebu, alive with motion and sound, was only minutes away from being shaken to its core. Families, workers, children, all caught in their usual morning moments, had no idea that everything they trusted, from the walls of their homes to the streets they walked on, was about to betray them. Within moments, the ordinary would vanish, and fear would take its place. The peace of the morning shattered in an instant. Without warning, the ground beneath Cebu began to tremble violently. At first, it was a slight vibration, like a heavy truck passing by, but within seconds, the shaking intensified into chaos. Buildings groaned under the pressure, glass windows shattered, and the streets echoed with terrified screams. People stumbled as the earth heaved, clutching onto anything they could to stay upright. Mothers grabbed their children, pulling them close, while workers abandoned their offices and rushed down stairwells in panic. The familiar sounds of the city, the honking of jeepneys, the chatter of vendors, were replaced by the deafening roar of the quake itself, a sound that seemed to rise from deep within the earth. Roads cracked open, sending shock through the hearts of everyone watching. Power lines swayed dangerously, and objects toppled from shelves inside homes and shops. The 6.9 magnitude earthquake tore through Cebu with merciless force, leaving people with only instinct to guide them. Some dropped to their knees, covering their heads, others ran blindly into the open, searching for safety under the clear sky that now felt anything but safe. Fear spread faster than the tremors, uniting the entire city in shock and disbelief. In those terrifying moments, the bustling, lively Cebu of the morning disappeared, replaced by a city struggling to survive against nature's raw, unstoppable power. What began as a normal day had transformed into a nightmare, and the people could do nothing but hold on and hope for it to end. As the earthquake roared through Cebu, destruction unfolded in every direction. Roads split apart, leaving jagged cracks that seemed to swallow anything in their path. Entire houses crumbled like sandcastles, and once solid buildings collapsed into piles of dust and debris. Clouds of smoke and ash filled the air, stinging eyes and choking breaths as people stumbled through the haze. Families clung to each other, their faces marked with fear and disbelief, searching desperately for a safe place to hide. Some cried out for missing loved ones, while others dug frantically with bare hands, trying to pull survivors from the rubble. The air was thick with the sound of breaking concrete, shattering glass, and heart-wrenching screams for help. Electricity poles fell, sparking fires in some areas, while water pipes burst, flooding streets already littered with wreckage. The once bustling neighborhoods, alive with chatter and laughter just minutes before, now looked like a war zone. Mothers held their children close, whispering prayers, while strangers helped each other climb out of danger. Amid the chaos, silence would suddenly fall when another building collapsed, leaving everyone frozen in terror before running again. Communication lines failed, cutting families off from their loved ones, deepening the panic. What had been a vibrant morning cityscape was now reduced to broken walls, twisted metal, and shattered lives. Cebu's heart had been silenced by the quake, replaced only by desperation and the haunting cries of those trapped beneath the ruins. For many, the nightmare had only just begun. When the tremors finally stopped, the city of Cebu was left in heartbreaking silence. Dust hung in the air, drifting slowly over what had once been busy streets now turned into fields of rubble. Buildings that stood tall just hours earlier were reduced to broken walls and collapsed roofs. Cars lay crushed beneath falling concrete, and belongings were scattered across the roads like forgotten memories. Survivors emerged from hiding places, their faces pale with shock, some covered in blood and dust, others clutching the hands of their loved ones tightly as if never wanting to let go again. The cries of those still trapped beneath the ruins echoed faintly, carrying across the devastated streets. Emergency responders rushed in, sirens wailing, their teams pulling at debris with urgency and determination. Volunteers formed lines, passing buckets of rubble, working together with bare hands when tools weren't enough. Doctors and nurses set up makeshift clinics on sidewalks, treating the injured under the open sky. Families reunited in tears, hugging tightly, thankful for survival, while others wandered aimlessly, calling out names in desperate search of those still missing. The once lively city felt broken, its heartbeat slowed, but among the wreckage there was still movement, still life. The aftermath revealed not just the destruction of homes and streets but also the deep wounds in people's hearts. Cebu had changed forever, and the struggle to rebuild both lives and hope had only just begun. Amid the ruins of Cebu, a quiet strength began to rise. Though the earthquake had stolen lives and homes, it could not take away the spirit of the people. Neighbors who had never spoken before shared food and water. Strangers pulled each other from the rubble, refusing to give up even when their own families were missing. Volunteers arrived with blankets, medicine, and helping hands, forming human chains to clear debris and rescue the trapped. Children, though shaken, were comforted by the gentle voices of mothers and the protective arms of fathers. The city that had once been filled with laughter and morning chatter now echoed with prayers, determination, and acts of kindness. Stories of survival began to spread, a child saved after hours beneath the rubble, an elderly man carried to safety by strangers, families reunited in tears. The devastation was real, but so was the courage. In every corner, hope flickered like a fragile light refusing to go out. Cebu stood wounded but not broken, its people bound together by resilience and faith. The quake had shown them how fragile life could be, yet it also revealed the power of unity and compassion. In those darkest hours, Cebu proved that even when the ground crumbles, the human spirit can rise higher than the ruins. The city would rebuild, not only its walls but also its faith in tomorrow, stronger than before.